Yes, General? I feel a sense of peace. It was difficult, but I guess I've come to understand something about myself. It's nothing, just something that opened my eyes. Ask me about it some other time. Was there something you wanted me for?
Yes? Have you come with questions? Very well. What is it that drives you? Ah, I had wondered if... But your powers are strong indeed. There are places in the galaxy, strong in the Force, light, dark. They are born in places teeming with life, and in places that are filled with death. Worlds whose surfaces are graveyards, whose screams echo through the Force. It is possible for war, for men to give birth to such places, to leave wounds on the galaxy itself. What you heard was the echo of the past, and it travels still. The answer will come to you in time. It must. When there is nothing more that you may learn from me, when the ruins of your past have been cleared away and I am no more, then you shall know what it is. And if you do not, then the galaxy shall die, and all my hopes for you will have been for nothing. Ask. And? Because it was its time? Perhaps you should ask her. It begs many questions. Her people are not prone to violence, war, or hatred, yet their planet is obliterated, scoured from the face of the galaxy, and all that remains is a Sith. You are right to trust your instincts. Something is wrong. It is only a matter of discovering what and why. If your instincts lead you to an answer, seek me out. Perhaps we will discuss more. Ask. Ignorance. And perhaps they do not remember or care. It is of no consequence to me or to them. Do not let them discover what makes you what you are before you do, or the consequences for the galaxy will be terrible. Because you learned to live without the Force, and that is something that the galaxy is not ready to accept.
My life for you. I will answer what. It is not a subject which I've heard tell. I will. It was forever his and they and and now I do not understand what you.
Something up? Alright, what did you want to know?
No, I don't think we're ready for that conversation yet.
Something up? Alright.
No.
Alright.
No.
Has there been any word of her?
None yet. I do not understand why she displays such disobedience.
You know why. She bears the face of her mother.
She shames us all.
She has always brought shame upon us. In terms of combat, she is the least among us. Her stance always had too much passion about it.
Perhaps it is better that our sister chose exile rather than having it forced upon her. Yes? You may ask. I feel more at peace, yes. And perhaps I shall speak of it another time, but not now.
You'll find little welcome here, Jedi. For your own good, I recommend you speak to Administrator Adari, quickly finish your business in Kunda, and go. I will answer your questions. She was the Agricultural Administrator of Dantooine. After the Sith attack, she kept us together. Without her, the only thing you'd see around here are mercenaries. We had problems with Mandalorian mercenaries even before the Jedi Civil War. The Jedi helped clear most of the problem up, but after the war, many soldiers from both sides of the conflict became mercenaries. And since we're so far from the core, some started gathering here. The difference between an out-of-work mercenary and a raider is a vibroblade's edge. The only thing we can prove they've done is intimidate a few farmers. The farmers give them goods, money, or food just to stay on their good side. The only one that isn't scared of them is the Administrator. There have also been a lot of disappearances recently, and not all of them can be blamed on calf hounds. But nobody can prove the mercenaries are responsible. A farmer here and there, or a family. We lost enough people during the war that keeping the calf hound and Kinrath populations under control hasn't been possible.
So there are a lot of animal attacks. Some deaths, too. The disappearances might be just coincidence, but a lot of the stubborn folk seem to be more accident-prone. Kunda is the big building just outside the landing port. It used to be the estate of a man named Matali, but he and his family disappeared around the time of the bombardment.
The administrator rebuilt it, and now this is our center of government. I know it doesn't look like much, but there aren't many settlers that live on this planet. This building is the start of something new for us. We're very proud of it.
Just head into the building and you'll find your way to the administrator. I'll be over by the entrance if you need anything else.
Just say the word.
A Jedi. I've got to tell the others. Leave me be, Jedi.
What's going on? I'll have this open in no time. This is too tough for me. Set and activated.
Gelfa, Abuelta, Linda Truth, Oisidan Gelfa, Vadinogan Gelfa, Tudun Truth Plaza, Fandibo Gelfa, Oisidan Gelfa, Vadino. Rentundas, Oisidan Gelfa, Abuelta, Rentundas, Oisidan Gelfa, Abuelta. Rentundas, Oisidan Gelfa, Abuelta, Tudun Truth Plaza, Abuelta, Truth Plaza, Fandibo Gelfa. Sidan Gelfa, Vadinogan Gelfa, Linda Truthda. Rentundas, Oisidan Gelfa, Abuelta. Truthdan Gelfa, Oisidan Gelfa, Sidan Gelfa, Vadinogan Gelfa, Linda Truthda. Truthdan Gelfa, Oisidan Gelfa, Sidan Gelfa, Vadinogan Gelfa, Linda Truthda. Fandibo Gelfa, Abuelta. Linda Truth Tori Sidan Gelfa Badinogan Gelfa. Sidan Gelfa Badin. Ventundas Tori Sidan.
Greetings, and good day, traveler. On behalf of the Kunda settlement, I am programmed to welcome you to Dantooine. Is there something I can do to serve you? Dantooine is a rural world, far removed from most galactic trade routes. Historically, agriculture has been Dantooine's primary industry. Since the destruction of the Jedi Enclave, salvage of the ruins has become a key area of growth for the local community. The famed ruins of the Jedi Enclave can be found northwest of the Kunda outpost. You may visit the ruins at your own risk. Zeron strongly urges salvagers to avoid the highly dangerous sublevel of the Enclave ruins. My apologies, I have no recollection of the Sith invasion topic. Error, memory overflow. Resetting. May I be of any further service to you? Processing. Exterior damage analysis. Level 7 impairment. Multiple casing breaches detected. Bipedal servos misaligned by 32 degrees. Memory storage overflow. Memory unit is approximately 56 months overdue for maintenance. Error. Memory overflow. Resetting. May I be... If you will...
What's going on?
Greetings. May I... Processing. Greetings, Jedi. Welcome back to Dantooine. Is there something I can do to serve you? My memory banks recognize you as a Jedi. You are among many Jedi who were trained in the Academy here at the Enclave, prior to its destruction during the Sith invasion. You are on the register as one of the Jedi who left the Enclave to fight in the Mandalorian Wars. My memory has no record of your return before now. You had no direct interaction with this droid. However, I had one instance of a conversation between Masters Vrook and Vandar regarding you. Beginning playback. Error. Recording partially corrupted. Resolving.
Today I caught him in a heated argument with my Padawan. His master refuses to properly discipline. I want to know what action you intend.
Luke, I respect your wisdom, but it is not your concern.
But uncontrolled. Whatever the other Padawans see him do, they are quick to do the same. Other students dislike him intensely.
True. An average student of the Force, but with a unique strength, is a natural leader.
I strongly disagree. Mediocre Jedi, lust for power, will lead to the dark side. Furthermore, it...
Recording degraded. End playback. May I be of any further service to you? The local militia occasionally offers employment to qualified soldiers. Speak to Zeron in the Kunda outpost. Additionally, many visitors come to Kunda to explore the ruins for salvage opportunities. The Kunda outpost is just outside this landing facility. May I be of any further service? The main area of interest for visitors is the Kunda outpost. There you will find the local officials who preside over the Dantooine colony. Administrator Terena Adare and militia leader Zeron. Zeron strongly urges salvagers to avoid the high... If you will excuse me. Greetings, Jack. May I be... If you will...
Charanana gundoso remina che l'orecto curo cattada. Fiore pada no ringa tel camarada tel fibo nubo da bicarana cenirara. Manama treto sobre barakto drun. Cresce mentru gre bavano flank tur na saganich. Grava no ku se bate. Trawinsto sopotuto neliep green patado. Trawinsto busuto neliep gran patada. Tele ronda nana. Der winterunto wakare koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Der winterunto wakare koe wapa teratana chingaradana. Ferra rampada no de ringtada nel camera cella fibor nubodat. Dosane caramala blue incidera mel rebe chinchin granactada. Der winterunto wakare koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinturun kawre kare papanala ranchinga. Derace wemenoto torere senesenten. Der rinturun wakare koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Der rinturun wakare koe wapa teratana chingaradana. Ferra rampada no de ringtada nel camera cella fibor nubodat. Dosane caramala blue incidera mel rebe. Der rinturun wakare koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada nane gra dalonuta. Terewana jun konata della raguno tu. Der winterunto wakare koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Der winterunto wakare koe wapa teratana chingaradana. Ferra rampada no de ringtada nel camera cella fibor nubodat. Dosane caramala blue incidera mel rebe chinchin granactada. Der winterunto wakare koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinturun kawre kare papanala ranchinga. Derace wemenoto torere senesenten. Charanana.
More where that came from!
Take him down. You asked for it.
More where that came from! Time to even the odds.
Yes, General? I feel a... It's nothing, just something that opened... Was this something... How do you like that?
More where that came from.
Yotapak, mito, hai best nikta dochi mapao krawe nosha. Wata lopchi tiba fuso bachila nuba chubanok. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata wakata chi luma lithpa. Huta yanolia, jukta gene chuba wonki na jung winoton ma no miurita. Kavanatakalu, kavanami donki krato. Kavanatakalu, kavanami donki krato. Bram tabanin sochu. Da come jusmak miki baranye doso so rika chondin, wana magrable mogo. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata wakata chi luma lithpa. Bram tabanin sochu. Da come jusmak miki baranye doso so rika chondin, wana magrable mogo. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata wakata chi luma lith. Huta yanolia, jukta gene chuba. Bawan maderansha, yukamos krun. Nande misoku kuran marenden krabanosot. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata wakata chi luma lithpa. Bram tabanin sochu. Da come jusmak miki baranye doso so rika chondin, wana magrable mogo. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata wakata chi luma lithpa. Bram tabanin sochu. Da come jusmak miki baranye doso so rika chondin, wana magrable mogo. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata wakata chi luma lithpa. Kavadumpa mo wendido chokerembi norta kunyun wish chawaka chuba sura dachi morotuko gansa. Bram taba.
What's going on?
Just say the word. Time to even the odds.
How do you like that? Let's go. Let's go.
Just say the word. More where that came from. Time to take you down to size.
Get this over with.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you. Force-sensitive locations such as this absorb and reflect force energy. The crystals are the catalyst here. I sense that Revan once passed through here, leaving a strong impression behind in the crystals. Perhaps future Jedi who visit this cave will feel our presence, as if seeing our footprints preserved in the soil. The crystals here are infused with the Force. Some could be harvested and used for lightsabers. The crystals here do not drain Force energy from Jedi. They collect the excess energy that radiates from those attuned to the Force. The crystals here
Let me handle this.
crystal responds to you. This is very rare indeed. The crystal's bond with you is such that the stronger you become in the Force, the more powerful your crystal will grow. This crystal will make an excellent focus for a lightsaber. Quite the contrary. Picture yourself as a sieve, and the Force as water pouring into you. This crystal draws from the excess water that escapes the sieve. The crystal is in tune with you. It will use whatever water that pours through you, be it dark or light.
More where that came from.
You'll find little welcome here, Jedi. For your own good, I recommend you speak to Administrator Dar. I will answer your question. She was the agriculture...
Don't cause any more trouble for Dantooine. Had enough of it for a lifetime.
I think Tarn has finally cracked. Running around like a madman, raving that he was being chased by a Jedi.
Oh, Tarn is an idiot, to be sure.
but he seemed genuinely frightened, and perhaps he did see something.
Do you actually believe a Jedi would return here? After all they've done to us? They wouldn't dare.
They certainly would. You remember how they were. Always so superior, so arrogant, and never lending a hand when we really needed them.
I still don't believe it.
You should. My cousin's friend, he used to tend the gardens around the Enclave. He swears he saw a Jedi in Kunda. Could be hiding anywhere.
Well, I hope it's true. I hear there's a bounty on them, and we could certainly use the money.
Unless somebody beats you to it.
Welcome to Kunda. You're a salvager, right? You'll need to see Administrator Adare to get access to the ruins. If you need directions to anything else, just ask. Her office is directly behind this room. You really can't miss it. She can see you now if you like. You're not. The only heavily armed people that visit us are either salvagers or mercenaries. And you don't look quite gritty enough to be a mercenary. The things that would most interest you are our weapon merchant and Zeron, the leader of our militia. Akere is still around here somewhere too. He sells droid components. Just go to the central corridor and make a right. His shop is the first on the right. If you get into any trouble, he's the person you'd contact. Unfortunately, recent problems with the salvagers and mercenaries have kept him quite busy. The mercenaries cause disruptions for some of our outlying settlers. They are a constant source of friction for us. I hear the salvagers are having some internal problems too. No, I couldn't. If you're really interested in that, just speak to Zeron. He's at the militia headquarters. Just make a right at the central corridor, and the headquarters is one of the rooms furthest in the back. Certainly. What do you want to know?
Are you waiting for the administrator too? You won't have to wait too long. But if you want results, now that you may never get here. Kunda's like a droid without his power cell. Useless. We have problems all over, and the most you can get out of the administrator is a pat in the back.
I'm sick of all their excuses and empty words. I need justice now.
I fought in the war, and I know how to use my blaster rifle. If the administrator or Zeron doesn't do something, then I will.
Salvagers are the problem. They strip bare the ruins that belong to the people of Dantooine. Then they sell what they find back to us at inflated prices.
I'm not a violent man. I've had my share of it in the war. I sincerely hoped I could just hang my blaster rifle on the wall as a souvenir for my grandchildren.
But I can't farm without my equipment. Well, yes and no. I brought my moisture vaporator to Kunda to be serviced. On the way back to my farm, I took a shortcut next to the Enclave ruins. Damn Lagrix came out of nowhere. I had to run before they made a meal of me. When I returned to retrieve my equipment, the salvagers had already stripped it bare. I went to their camp to get back my moisture vaporator. This smug fellow Joran told me that he found it within the ruins, and by law, it belongs to him now. He said he'd give it to me for the bargain price of 500 credits. I wasn't very happy about it, but the law was on his side, so I paid this scoundrel. Now the moisture vaporator doesn't work, because it is mysteriously missing its modulator. Joran is offering to sell me a modulator he found for another 500 credits.
I suppose you could. Actually, you almost look like a salvager.
If you could go to this salvager camp and convince the salvager Joran to return my modulator, I would be very grateful.
I'm not rich, but I have some souvenirs from the war I could give you. It's right next to the ruins of the Jedi Enclave. Just follow the smell. You can't miss them. That's great. I'm certainly not getting any help around here. If you need to know anything more, just ask me.
What brings you to Kunda? Do you have any troubles to report? I'm here to help. I just hope you aren't here about Garevik. Oh, sorry. If you're brand new to these parts, you may not have any issues with Garevik, unlike most everyone else. You're fortunate not to know him. He's a salvager. His purpose in life seems to be causing us headaches. I can tell he's back in Kunda just by the pounding in my head. If you're not here about Garevik, do you have some other problem? You haven't? Well, that's something. I'm the second in command over here, and we keep getting incidents. Our staff is stretched thin. Too thin. If you do have trouble, I'm not the one to talk to. You need to talk to Zeron. He takes a hands-on role as the militia captain. This is sensitive. It's not really a secret, though. A lot of people are upset with Zeron. He's a hard man and doesn't answer to anybody. Except, I suppose, the administrator. The thing is, he expects everyone to follow all the laws. That's not normally a bad thing, but the mercenaries are used to having a bit more freedom. So it's like Zeron keeps prodding a rancor with a stun stick. To a rancor, it's just a minor nuisance. But if you keep at it, he's gonna fight back. The mercenaries aren't unreasonable. They're mostly just war veterans looking for work. But Zeron just keeps poking them. So he has to get involved to make sure that the militia does what he wants. Otherwise, we'd probably give the mercenaries some room. It's tricky. You see, I think Zeron may be taking this whole thing a little personal. I'm not sure. Just a guess. I also think he's doing more to provoke them than just investigating every complaint against them hard. He's up to something. If someone could just ask a few questions, turn up some answers, maybe see if Zeron isn't being completely honest with the rest of us, well then maybe he should be replaced. Just look around, see if Zeron's up to something on the side. Something that'll hurt the fragile peace we got with the mercenaries. So if you happen to find something out like that, you should see Administrator Adare. If you have to do some footwork to check into things, you'll be compensated. We should probably talk about something else. I hate going behind the captain's back. I just feel... I just have a feeling about it. I don't even want to get into it. Ask around if you want to know the details. It'll just make my headache worse if I talk about it. I don't know what we'd do without Administrator Adare. She managed to plow through a lot of the family bickering once the Sith left during the war. She's kept us together. Oh, and, Zeron too, I suppose. This is sensitive. It's not Maybe. It's hard to say. They meet a lot, but it seems to me they let each other alone for the most part. I'm sure there's a lot going on with the militia that the administrator doesn't even know about. It's tricky. You see, I think Zeron may be taking this whole thing a little personal. I also think he's doing more to provoke them. If someone could... Just so if you... I'll tell you anything that's public knowledge. You should see Administrator Adare about that. She'll be able to set you up. You're not a typical salvager, so I don't expect you'll have any trouble there. Oh, you heard about that. We have so much to look into that Sulru's concern is pretty low on our list. We asked the salvagers, but they claim that the salvager responsible is nowhere to be found. I've heard that rumor too. People get really riled up about Jedi around here. Some people seem to have a selective memory. During the war, the Jedi were a big help here. They did everything for us, from clearing out dangerous beasts to solving a murder investigation. I try to stay out of it, though. Standing up for Jedi is one way to become unpopular around here. Easy to say for someone that doesn't live here. I'd rather grab an unshielded power coupling than get involved in that debate. The militia's dealing with enough already. You're not wrong there. For what good it'll do, if it comes up, I'll say what I think is right. You happy? I hope so. You may be my only friend in a few days. Talking about Jedi is just depressing these days. Any other cheerful problems you want to talk about? I'm here to help. What do you need? I'll tell you anything that... Oh, sorry. If you're Most people follow the rules and just try to get by in life. He's a salvager. I can tell he's back... All right. Stay out of trouble now.
Tochi monas runta, yun bola, wata gratonchi mulira. Poso ma britushniki tuk tuk pamba, bora, dino mori. Poso ma britushniki tuk tuk pamba, bora, dino morira nibo. Poso ma britushniki tuk tuk pamba, bora, dino morira nibo non. Hoshmanfu ni wado de kuta ma sapa, tongi wamaji, yumaliba to ato into tune. Hoshmanfu ni wado de kuta ma sapa, tongi wamaji, yumaliba to ato into tune. Insoranaka megunsoji, nekchi una bola, monchi wataton, sobodono, biserchamaka. Fasa susho wi. Insor Karono ma Jenish melaka wachino so impos morcha chani rikasan. Wala kun bisking mong pal muliras nemo poiduana. Jenish melaka wachino so impos morcha chani rikasan. Wala kun bisking mong pal muli Pararanta miki sikosas. Yewenarama inosos miki sa winsor michi inkaranich wi okapom. Niko bolotong la do chong now. Pararanta miki sikosas. Yewenarama inosos miki sa winsor michi inkaranich wi ok. Parachi no sukankadon makamando uruno intervela ino. Unisidom kanaki mochi so akadla. Inkin kunma bolira michiki kun. Dawanga nochi? Roren, manama, kochpa ino shan opora. Parachi no sukankadon, makamando runo intervela ino. Unisidom kanaki mochi so akadla. Inkin kunma bolira michiki kun. Poso ma britushniki tuk tuk pamba, bora. Dino morira nibo non kin un patno koktek. Hoshmanfu ni wado de kuta ma sapa. Tongi wamaji, yumaliba to ato into tune. Malosaf piti manapasa. Hey, drogo yuto son zata. Lutanas, antihit murira yun chu.
I'm the militia captain here. Are you here because you're in trouble or looking for it? Talk to Baroon first. If your situation needs militia involvement, he'll send you my way. You got any other reason for coming to militia headquarters? Rare thing a visitor wanting to help out. Looks to me like you're here to explore the Jedi ruins. But we have a thing or two that need doing. You seriously want to help, just ask about it. Or any other questions you might have. You want something? I've seen a lot of visitors come through Kunda. You're the first one in a while that looks the capable sort. We have a small problem with Kinrath. Maybe you've already seen some of them. They're coming from a cave in the Kunda Plains. I'd take care of it myself, but there aren't many people in the militia. We'd lose too many men. There's a reward if you do it. Kinrath are normally just pests. We think something happened to their nest. Started near the end of the Civil War. Nobody knows for sure. Even the Ithorian. And they're smart about such things. Very. The Kinrath you see on the plains aren't as tough as the ones inside the caves. They may not look much different, but they are tough. 2,000 credits. I agree with you, but I don't barter. I got more important things to do. Very. I agree with you, but I don't barter. We used some explosives to seal a cave a couple years back. Just made them angrier. They burrowed another entrance even closer to us. I know there are crystals in there, too. Some of the salvagers once thought about going in there to get some extra credits. Too many Kinrath, though. Cave is on the southeast side of the plains. Shouldn't be hard to find. That's all I can ask. You want something? You really should talk to Baroon. There aren't more than a dozen of us, and there's too many problems. People keep hoping that the Republic sends help. But we gotta help ourselves. She's smart. She gets things done. The whole place would fall apart without her. Dantooine isn't the center of much anything. Our most talented people sometimes leave. Hard for someone to stay a farmer when they have the itch to do something greater. So we're lucky the administrator never went elsewhere. I bet she'd make a decent senator, even. It's our home. Might be the start of an honest capital someday. Right now, it's not much more than a swoop bike stop. I don't have anything to say about that. You want something? Some of the salvagers went deep into the ruins and found a lot of Jedi relics. It's the most valuable all the salvagers ever got. But all the salvagers that went down there are dead. So it seems every day or so some salvager comes claiming they're owed by such and such, or that they're related. The whole thing makes me sick. Garevik says he won the whole claim in a Pazak game with the last survivor, right before he killed him. But that was a fair fight. There were witnesses. But nobody remembers Garevik ever playing Pazak. I just hope someone takes this blasted claim off my hands. I'm tired of those lowlives pestering me. We've got real work to do. You want something?
Don't cause any more trouble for Dantooine. You've had enough of it for a lifetime.
I hear you.
What's going on?
A visitor. Please, come in. Welcome to Kunda. I am Administrator Turina Adari. You're the owner of the, ship that just landed? Depending on your business here, the pleasure may be mutual, but you didn't answer my question. Is that ship yours? And unless I'm much mistaken, that's the Ebon Hawk. That vessel has been on Dantooine before, during the war. That was a Jedi vessel. That is an unfortunate truth, and a wise request, which of course I will honor. Most settlers here hold bitter memories of the Sith occupation. Right or wrong, our settlers blame the Jedi and their hidden enclave for their suffering. I remember the old Jedi Masters and the considerable help they lent to Dantooine. I still maintain discreet connections with Jedi. I suppose your arrival here is no coincidence. Indeed, true coincidence seems very rare in the affairs of Jedi. But I should tell you, my friend, let's just call him Vrook. We've known each other for many years, and our continued friendship could create many problems in the current political climate. He came to Dantooine not too long ago. He was looking into something quite important. He's gone missing recently. Did he send for you in case something went wrong? Vrook and I had a mutually beneficial arrangement for several weeks. He went to the Jedi Enclave sublevel recently and hasn't returned. I know the sublevel is dangerous. I'm starting to fear the worst. Would you be willing to go to the ruins of the Enclave to look for him? We are fortunate that you've come. Don't expect it to be easy, though. Things rarely are with Jedi. I will have one of the militia transmit permissions to the Enclave's security door. Go expecting danger, for you will most certainly find it there. Is there anything else I can assist you with? Like many parts of Dantooine, the sublevel of the Enclave has become infested with dangerous creatures. Large, vicious insects called Lagreks have made the sublevel their home. Several salvagers have reportedly been injured or killed by the Lagreks. I would expect a Jedi to fare better against the creatures than the salvagers, but Vrook has not returned in some time. Is there anything else I can assist you with? I hope that you... Is there anything... I have no doubt that Barun means well, but I have every confidence in Zeron. I would ask you to ignore anything Barun asked of you. He doesn't see the full scope. What have you learned, Jedi? I hope that... Is there... I realize that I'm asking you for help, but you must also know that I am the head of this nominal government. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to divulge all information to you. To most people in the galaxy, the distinction between Sith and Jedi is a blurry one, especially since most Sith were once Jedi. It is complicated by the fact that Malak and Revan were great heroes of the Republic and famed Jedi Knights. But a few years later, they were leading an armada which threatened everyone. And here on Dantooine, the Jedi Enclave provoked a brutal occupation by the Sith. It could have been far worse, but even now the damage has not been fully mended. I don't think everyone hates Jedi. If just a few people changed their minds or spoke up, it could make a great deal of difference. I think that we need the help of the Jedi. If the Jedi's reputation isn't redeemed, the consequences could be quite regrettable. Until then, I would keep your identity secret.
Your luck is not of the hapless settler. You are the newcomer that lands in a battered ship, yes? No friendly greetings are here for you. You act like I have insulted your woman. Your ship I haven't seen. But if it takes after you, it can't be in perfect condition. I am done being inconvenienced by you. Another interruption. You must not have heard who I am. Waste another's time, not mine. Someone less important.
Time to even the odds.
A visitor comes to our delightful salvager camp. We are honored. Do you come bringing your credits and curiosity? A civilized person with manners. Very rare in this part of the galaxy. I am most honored to meet you. If I may, a question I pose to you, traveler. Do you wish to buy one of the most elusive of all Jedi artifacts? A powerful Jedi holocron? You flatter me, traveler. It was a good day when I found this holocron. But you are lucky, for I will sell it to you for a low price. I ask a mere 1,000 credits for this rare find. This is not a matter of negotiation. You should buy it quickly before others come. Well, your wisdom is immense. Here's the holocron. Now business is done. We can talk of other things. So, what should we talk about? I hope you've enjoyed your purchase. I'm not a Jedi, so I couldn't say for certain, but I had a suspicion. But that doesn't matter. All sales are final, I'm afraid. You should take the matter up with the militia, but they will say the same. Salvagers have been selling outsiders precious artifacts for a long time. Do not make this worse than it has to be. There's nothing more I want to discuss. Take the matter up with Zeron, head of the militia. But you will not like what you hear. Ah, the traveler has returned. I hope so. I hope you've enjoyed your... All sales are final, I'm afraid. I believe you. Fortunately, the militia and salvagers don't appreciate violence, even here. There's nothing more I want to discuss.
You a new salvager? Or one of those Kunda cantina rats coming here to complain? Well, we don't need another one. Look around this camp. We got the salvaging more than covered. I'm gonna give you some advice. Turn back. There's nothing you're gonna find. Because anything valuable in the ruins was carted away months ago. The only salvagers left are either desperate, ornery, or not right in the head. And while you look dirty enough to be here, I don't think you're any of those things. So go back to Kunda. The only thing left is the sub-level, and that's crawling with Lagrex. And those things are smarter than half the salvagers here, though that don't take much. And don't be asking any pesky questions. You're new, and no one is gonna help you out. Because there isn't enough salvage to share with the people already here. And a hungry newcomer is about as welcome as a diuretic hut. If you're not going to listen to anybody, maybe you can help me out. The only place that has anything is the sub-level. And only a couple of fools have gone there. And they're now dead fools. I'd like to do the decent thing and get their bodies and put them to rest. That hole isn't a fit place for a salvager. So, if you find a couple human corpses down there, just grab their gear and their bodies. I'll pay you 500 credits for each of them. Us salvagers that are still here have to stick together.
Where that came from?
You've wandered into the wrong camp. You got the look of a warrior, and we got all the blasters we need. If you're looking for work too, just take a trip spaceward. We don't need any more competition. Got it? Then maybe we can get along just fine. What if we do? They're practically begging to be pushed around. You've seen them, right? They're weak. You sound like a flaming Jedi. I didn't just mean their weapons. I meant their character. They're very quick to blame everyone but themselves for their problems. So the galaxy has dealt them a bad hand. They should ante up and get back in the game. The administrator is different. Most of us are veterans of the Jedi Civil War. Some even fought in the Mandalorian Wars. A lot of soldiers have been looking for a place in the galaxy. The really skilled usually wind up here. A Sentient by the name of Azkul. He was an elite trooper for Malak during the Jedi Civil War. He knows how to wage war. We had a contract with the Republic, doing some work in the Outer Rim. But they scaled back, and we were some of the casualties. Now the Republic isn't hiring anymore. I hear they have no credits. We find ways to divert ourselves. A lot of us find odd jobs. There are many more mercs around than what you see on Dantooine. We're spread out. I have time to kill.
Smells like another salvager's come to our camp. Vacate, Mudlicker. Don't make me tell you again.
Ease off, Nalik. There's better sport than this one.
I don't need help to take out a Mudlicker. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You fighting any wars? I fought in the Jedi Civil War. I guess you don't look like much of a salvager. Sides don't matter much. We're all soldiers. Most of us mercenaries worked with the Sith. Not too many Republic soldiers survived the war. I thought you were one of those useless salvagers. Or perhaps an uppity settler. I've had about enough of their attitude. So I figured blasting one of them would have done me some good. It's been a while since we've had work. You were a soldier too, so you know I'm not going to answer you. Stay out of our way and we'll stay out of yours. That's the best deal you're going to get here.
Can I help you? Just trying to make a living. At least there's still people in the galaxy who know our value. It's not glamorous work, but a man has to eat, right? I've heard the rumors too. There's no way I'm gonna fight for some upstart warrior who styles himself as Mandalore. We didn't pick a new Mandalore when the last one was killed, and maybe we're better off without one.
I don't suppose you're here to hire us. It's been a long time.
Let's get this over with.
What? You shouldn't sneak up on an old fella like that. You shouldn't be out of here anyway. This is Kinrath territory. There was a time when seeing a Kinrath was a rare thing. They mostly were around some caves to the south of here. But now, they're everywhere. They're dangerous too. More vicious than they used to be. I'd stay away from the eastern side of the plains. And now that I think about it, stay away from the west too. The west is filled with Cath hounds. Dantooine is in a sad state these days. Mostly because the Republic has left us to fend for ourselves. I gave the Republic the best years of my life, and I understand they're under pressure. But I think that they'd be able to spare at least something to help us out. All we get is sympathy. Some law and order, for one thing. Take what I'm doing right now. A couple weeks back, there was an accident here. One of the Western Fringe farmers was coming to Kunda on his swoop with a load of atmospheric sensors. We found him dead and his swoop bike all banged up. I've come back a couple of times to try to figure out if that's what really happened. I'm one of the Kunda militia. They need all the able bodies they can get. I was a Republic custom inspector before I came back home. Now I'm the closest thing the militia's got to an investigator. I do. The Kinrath are dangerous. But as long as you stay on your swoop bike, there's no way they should catch you. I've carefully searched this area and haven't found anything. So maybe our man just got sloppy. We really need those atmospheric sensors.
But Dantooine is temperate. There is no need for atmospheric sensors except for seasonal data collection.
Huh? It's just important we get it back. They're expensive pieces of equipment, and we can't afford to replace them. Regardless, I don't suppose you'd be willing to keep an eye out for something. I just really need them. It's important. Please come to me if you find any of the atmospheric sensors. I'll pay you 1,000 credits for each one you find, whether they're broken or not. No idea whatsoever. I figure it's a real long shot you'd ever spot one. But I also figure it wouldn't hurt to ask.
Time to even the odds. Where that came from?
Who are we missing? We're one off.
We're missing Joran. I don't see Joran.
That runt of a Cathhound, he's the one with the backpack. Did anybody grab anything from the room? Anybody? What do you want? I managed to get this sad lot of salvagers to work together. Then we get 2 rooms into the sub-level, and we get swarmed by Lagrex. And even then we fight our way out. But of course the only one that managed to grab the salvage is still in there. I don't even know why I bothered. Nothing. Find out for yourself. I'm not interested in training the competition. Now, if you don't mind, we're going someplace you can't eavesdrop on us, and get down to our business.
Take him down.
Let's go.
Child's play.
Yeah?
I'll have this open in no time. Take them down.
More where that came from. More where that came from.
What's going on?
Just say the word. More where that came from. Everyone down! More where that came from. 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 Just say the word. Just say the word.
Yeah?
Settle this. I hear you.
More where that came from. More where that came from. More where that came from. Take them down.
Time to even the odds. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah?
I am an historian and scientist working for the Republic, although I'm certain my contemporaries would judge me more a historian than scientist. Like you, I was looking for some trace of the Jedi. I had heard mention that one of the Jedi Masters had gone there, but I found no trace of them. The other reason was the ruins of the Jedi Enclave, and once I arrived, I felt it was necessary to stay, to protect what was left. Much had been taken from the Enclave, both by raiders and others. I wished to preserve what I could. Many artifacts were taken from the Enclave, but these thefts, they had to have been done by someone who knew the Enclave well. I suspect the Jedi themselves took the holocrons and records, but I do not know why. Someone has been taking holocrons from sites across the galaxy. It is almost as if someone does not want their knowledge used to find the Jedi. The situation on Dantooine is echoed in other places in the galaxy. Raiders, smugglers, all seek to plunder what remains of the Jedi, and even the Sith. More so than the Jedi themselves, I fear the loss of their history. Much has been forgotten in recent wars, and I fear that greater troubles shall stem from that loss of knowledge in the future. The destruction of the Academy on Ossus near the Kron Drift in the Sith War. The teachings of Master Arca. The adventures of Jolie Bindo on the Rimward missions. All of these things are in danger of being lost forever. What else would you like to know? No. It is something of a mystery why they would exile themselves as they have. It is not the way of the Jedi to vanish in such a way, especially when the Republic is in need of them. I fear that there is something else at work, something that we cannot see. Then again, perhaps the Jedi are hiding simply because so many people hate them these days. It is difficult sometimes for the Jedi to see such things, since much of it is rooted in human nature, and the Jedi are often removed from events of daily life, insulated. But the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognize the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they are both Jedi, with different philosophies. Not always. Jedi often fall. They cause much harm on Onderon, for example, in the name of peace and protection. Uleg Keldroma and Exar Kun, the two Dark Lords during the Sith War many decades ago, were once Jedi Knights, as were Revan and Malak. It is perhaps more amazing that some still trust Jedi after many have fallen and endangered the galaxy. It is also proof that a single Force wielder can change the face of the galaxy, and that is a frightening thing indeed. Hate? No. I do not hate them. They only raise questions without answers. Jedi are not supposed to be like the rest of us. They are supposed to see a higher purpose in all things. And they are supposed to train students responsibly and well, so mistakes of the past are not repeated. Yet all I saw was ignorance and arrogance, and what those seeds created in the Republic. It is difficult to follow the Jedi Code when so few others have, but you know this. Many Jedi defy the Order during the Mandalorian Wars, and it paved the way for the Jedi Civil War. There is no blame. All must accept. But, at its core, one must wonder if it was the failure of the Jedi teachings or the teachers themselves. Many of the Jedi Council trained Exar Kun, Ulik, Revan, and Malak. How could they not see the danger they posed? And if they could not, perhaps there was some essential part of their teachings that was flawed, something beyond the Jedi Code that they were missing. I am not certain you understand what happened with Revan. Do you wish me to explain? Revan was captured in the middle of the Jedi Civil War, due in no small part to his apprentice Malak, who turned on him. Revan was brought before the Jedi Council and put on trial. You must understand that the situation was desperate, and the Jedi needed to know how Revan had amassed the forces arrayed against them. As I understand it, they were able to convince Revan to have a change of heart. Revan helped the Republic defeat Malak. Perhaps in his conversation with the Jedi Masters, they were able to convince him of the rightness of their actions. Revan had many masters: Zar, Dorak, Master K before K left for the wars. Towards the end of his training, he sought out many to learn techniques. It is said that he returned to his first master at the end of his training in order to learn how he might best leave the Order. What else would you like to know? I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Faces tend to blur together after a time. What else would you like to know? I do not know if you are aware of how fragile the Republic is at the moment. Its influence is stretched thin, and it grows weaker with time. The Jedi Civil War brought much suffering to the galaxy, and the forces that Malak and Revan amassed against us seemed limitless. Many worlds were destroyed, trade routes disrupted, and the Republic fleet was almost decimated. It was almost the end. But at that last year, the year before Revan vanished, Revan's assault on the Republic stopped. No one knows why. But it was all that saved the Republic. The fleet the Sith had amassed was no more, and the remaining Sith turned on each other, destroying the Academy on Korriban. It did not matter. Revan had already won. The war was costly, and it shattered the Republic. In time, the Republic might recover. But if a threat strikes now, if certain key worlds are not held, then the Republic will collapse. What else would you like to know? Someone has been taking this more so than the Jedi. Much has been forgotten in recent wars. The destruction of the Academy on Ossus near the Kron Drift in the Sith War. The teachings of Master Arca. Someone... What else? Before you go, I had a question for you. You came to Dantooine in search of Jedi. Why? If the Sith are rising in the galaxy again, then it is strange the Jedi would not be there to meet them, and that we have not seen more evidence of the Sith. No, I believe you. I merely find such subtleties among the Sith to be strange. They have been known to practice deception, but in the histories, since the time of the Dark Lords Kun and Keldroma, and Revan and Malak, such subtleties have been rare. I will return to Kunda now and await the next transport. You may find me there if you have more questions.